Next, we will be doing number 7 through 9. You could have picked either method to do these three problems. I would say that all three of these, because they all have the variables on the left side, lend themselves to be done by elimination. So on this first one, you will have to multiply to get rid of one of the variables. First, you have to look at what you want to multiply by. If you're going to get rid of the x's, I need to make this into a 2. If I want to get rid of the y's, I'd have to make this into a -3 to get a different sign. I personally would multiply by 2 and already use the negative that they have on the bottom, just because negatives cause issues for some people. So that would make that 2x plus 2y equals 8. For the other one, it's going to be -2x plus 3y equals 7. Don't change anything for the one on the bottom. That allows me to cancel out my x's and combine my y's. When I put together 2y plus 3y, that would give me 5y equals, and then 8 plus 7 puts us at 15. You're going to get rid of that 5 by dividing both sides by 5. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. That makes it y equals 3. That's the first part of my ordered pair. It's going to go in that second spot. Because it's the y, guys. Y's always go second. Because we are doing elimination, we can plug it back into either problem. I'll put it back into the first one. So that would be x plus, y is by itself, so I don't have to multiply it by anything. It's just 3 equals 4. I would solve that by subtracting 3 from both sides, and that puts it at x equals 1. So for our next one, again, I've got to decide what I'm going to multiply by. I can either turn my 3 and 5 into a common factor of 15, or the 4 and 2 into a common number, which I would use 8. 8's smaller, and I only have to multiply the bottom by a number. I don't have to multiply both of them, so I'm going to multiply the bottom by a -2 to get the y's to cancel out. If I only multiply by 2, that would add together to give me 8y, guys. That wouldn't cancel out. I'm not going to multiply the first one, so I copy it over. Guys, you can't short steps. Please make sure you go through the whole process. -2 times 5x is -10x minus 4y equals -22. You're going to combine everything now. These two go together to give you -7x. These two cancel out. And these two go together to give you -21. To undo this multiplication, we divide by -7. When we do, x is equal to, well, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 21 divided by 7 is going to put you at 3. From there, again, that's the first part of our ordered pair that we have. Since it's the x, it goes in the first spot. You plug it back into one of your equations. I'll plug it back into the first one right here. That's going to make that 3 times 3 plus 4y equals 1. 9 plus 4y equals 1. I've got to make this +9 go to the other side. To do that, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. That's going to make it 4y is equal to -8. Divide both sides by 4, and y equals -2. Since that's my y, it's going to go as the second number in my ordered pair, and my intersection point, my solution to the problem, would be the ordered pair 3, -2. So on our last one, there's no way to avoid on this last one multiplying both of them. 7 cannot turn into 2, 2 cannot turn into 7, 3 cannot turn into 8, 8 cannot turn into 3 with just multiplying by one number, and we don't want to introduce fractions. We could if we introduce fractions, but we don't want to do that. So I've got to either make these two into 14 for a common number, or these two into 24. Since 14 is smaller, I'm going to use that. They are already positive and negative just like these are, so it doesn't matter which one you do. So I'm going to multiply everything on the top by 2 to make that into a 14. and I'm going to multiply the bottom by a 7 to make that into a 14. I'll show you how that works. 2 times that's going to put you at negative 14x plus 6y equals 24. 7 times 2x is going to put you at 14x minus 56y equals 7 times 32. Oops, let's check the math. Since I don't have any of y'all in class, I actually have to do the math. That's going to put us at 224. And don't forget, it was a positive times a negative, so it's negative 224. Oh, look how nice the math's going to be. Look at that. That's going to cancel. When I combine these, that's going to give me negative 50y equals negative 200. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 50. And that's going to make it y equals, don't forget, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 200 divided by 50 is going to give us 4. Now that's my y, so put it in the second spot. And then I've got to pick one of my two equations to solve for. I'm going to plug it into the first one because the numbers are smaller. So right here, negative 7x plus 3 times 4 equals 12. That's negative 7x plus 12 equals 12. Minus 12, oh, don't have a panic attack. It is okay. Please listen to me. 12 minus 12 is 0. 0 is a number, guys. It's okay to get 0. You can't leave it blank. They don't just cross out. 12 minus 12 is 0. And then we still have to get rid of the negative 7 by dividing both sides by negative 7. But 0 divided by anything is still going to be 0. That's my x, so it goes right here in this spot. Now, the only thing we have left is the graphing, so I'll get that video going. Let's get this stopped.